Macon, Stanford. ColdFusion ORM. You can get started in 10 minutes. ColdFusion ORM. Here's a quick look at a simple example of ColdFusion ORM. If you want to get started using ORM, then you might want to at least look at this bit of code. I'm using the CF Art Gallery database, the table artist, and you can click add, and you can put in whatever name you want to, some address. Let's just do the any street, some city. We'll just pick a fake city, and we'll just pick a particular state and fake zip code. jbond at test.com. Fake phone number. No fax. Simple password. And click add. Close. I know it's a simple password. I don't want to save it. So if I scroll down, you can see James Bond is there. Let's say we decide to edit it because we accidentally put that on there, which it was on purpose, just for an example. And we'll say James Bond 006. Click update. And once again, we get an update. We look down here, it's not got the underscore and it's got the 006. And let's say I want to delete one. We'll delete the one right above it. That one's a fake one as well. So we'll click that. Do you want to delete? Yes, I do want to delete that artist. So now it's gone. Now let's look at exactly what we're doing in the code. So if I look in the code, we go to the application.cfc. I have ORM enabled and some ORM settings. I have going to the location, CFC location of models, and I actually have the models going to the CF_ORM models. So that goes to the models folder right here, and then goes to the artist when you're going to use it, but it goes to the root, since this is not the root folder. CF_ORM goes there. So you would change this if you were putting it at the root of the machine you're working on. So if you look at artist, there's one important thing to remember here. When you're doing this, you want to remember case sensitive. If you check your database and all of the fields are uppercase, then you should have all the fields in here be uppercase. So if we go back to index, so what I'm doing now is to get the artist and all of them, I do entity load, which retrieves all of the artist. Then I come down here, I create my nice looking page with my add button and all my table headers. Then I simply loop through the array, and in the array there's a structure, but I can use get first name, get last name, get email to fill all this in and get all the information. And just for grins, let's actually grab this, get artist, and in this little JavaScript pop-up, you want to create this, delete this artist, first name, space, last name, copy it again, there we go, save, and we will go check that out in just a minute. So let's look at the add. When you click on add up here, it just goes to the add file, nothing too complicated. Here's the form that you see. And right now we're just using straight hard-coded states. But we fill in all of these forms and we hit submit. We look up here at the top where it's got the form. Here's your form, goes to action insert, so we go to the insert. Now I've got it dumping data because when I was testing it, that's from testing. But since it's going to relocate, you would not know that's still happening, but I'm going to delete it. So here I'm loading all the artists. That was an example I was using. Once again, I'll delete that. So here we're taking a structure from our form and filling out, getting a new entity, a new artist. Then we're filling out all the information from the form field. When you set this up more permanently, you would want to use hash, but that's not what I'm doing here. Just showing you that you would want to use hash to hash the password and hide it. And then when you go to check the password, you would hash the password to be able to check it. Then here it's doing entity save, so it's got the new artist, and you're passing a new artist, and then you're saying if there's no errors, transaction committed. And down here it's going to send the message, which we're not displaying at the moment. I will work on this more, but for now, that's the message you'll be sending in this, putting in the session that you could display on the index.cfm file. Any errors caught, it would catch and throw the error so that you could read it, and then it would go back to the index. Edit, same kind of thing. It's that same form, but with the data field, the way it fills it in is it takes and it makes sure that the ID that you passed in is numeric, goes and gets the artist, and once you've got the artist, you can you can do a CF output and put in the code to get that specific artist. So we got specific artist, and we're getting the specific artist's first name. And then when we hit edit and we say, okay, we want to update that, we're going to go to the action update, which basically we get the specific artist, we update the information, and then we tell it to save the information and commit it. Once again, you're passing in a message that you could be using into the session. And then when we want to delete, the delete's not going to a new page. It's literally going straight to the action of delete. And when it gets here, we make sure that ID is an integer, it's numeric, and then we tell it to go ahead and delete. If for some reason you've got the wrong number or you've typed in a number that does not exist, it will say invalid artist ID, and it ends up going back to the index and redisplaying. If you want to see this code and you want to go check it out, as I make changes to it right now, it should be available. But I'm going to go to the index here. Let's delete this. And I'm going to put right here, as well as I will go put in the description, I will put this link. GitHub NA Stanford/CF_ORM. So hopefully this helps you out on getting started using ORM. I have a couple other files in this application, one called editor config. It's empty at the moment. I will be showing that off later, and get ignore. So if you're using get, you can put in here file names of files or groups of files with a wildcard that you want GitHub or you want Git to ignore when it's committing. Now I'm probably going to make it ignore all of these here, so I would simply say I'm going to do *HBMXML. I don't really want it to have that. I want that to be generated by the application. Off and on I was having trouble. Once again, I'll remind you, case sensitive. I had these and they were all lowercase and it would not work. I couldn't figure out why. I finally figured out. One of my machines, the database has lowercase columns, and on another machine I have uppercase columns. So that's something that's kind of important Don't know the answer to if there's a way to fix that where it wouldn't be case sensitive. That's something I'll look into. If you know the answer to that, please let me know. And if you have any troubles with ORM, let me know. We'll become experts on it together.